Donald Trump is not holding any punches in regards to Barack Obama and this 2024 election. You're not going to want to miss this.
I want to get right into it. I got a lot of questions I want to ask you. Some of it's personal, some of it's business, some of it's politics. But something happened last week. Barack Obama, he's at this event, he's speaking.
Right.
And he's given this message about your economy, how great the economy was. And then at the end of it, he says, you know, you didn't build that economy. I built this. I kind of want to get your reaction on this talk that is given. Rob, if you can put that up.
And the reason some people think, well, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good because it was my economy. We had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. I had spent 8 years cleaning up the mess that the Republicans had left me the last time. So just in case everybody has a hazy memory, he didn't do nothing except those big tax cuts.
So how do you feel about this when you see him saying this last week?
I think he's angry. He pretends not to be, but I think he's an angry guy. He's a nasty guy. He's got a little bit of an edge, and you know, he's angry about a lot of things. You look at what happened with Biden, and you look at what he did with Biden. He really hurt Biden because I'm not sure he wouldn't have imploded anyway. We had the debate, and he was down quite a bit, and they walked out, and they just took it away from him. I mean, if you think about it, they stole the election from a sitting president. That's, you know, I always say coup, but the word coup, I don't think it's accurate enough. They just walked in and took it away from him. That is a legendary thing. He didn't want to give up. He's angry now. They're all angry, the Democrats, if you think. She's angry. They're both angry. But no, I watched that last week, and I think he spoke down to black men. I thought it was terrible the way he spoke to them.
You think it's effective? You think he still carries the same stick as he did, you know, maybe 8 years ago or 12 years ago?
No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think he does. I think people have gotten smart. And no, I don't believe he does at all. I hadn't seen him. He's changed a lot. Visually, he's changed. I like to say visually as opposed to from the look standpoint, because, of course, looks don't matter anymore in politics, you know? You say looks don't matter.
You do have to be honest. Obama aged 30 years in the past decade. But that's not the reason his words don't carry the same weight. It's because people found out the type of person that he is. You can argue he was the most divisive president in American history. I mean, 10 years ago, a lot of people, myself included, thought Obama was the man. He was smooth talking, great public speaker, and he was just for the American people, we all thought. It wasn't until Trump went down that escalator and exposed these frauds for what they are, which is just a cog in a machine. These politicians are all figureheads, and they work at the behest of the special interest groups, not the American people.
He's changed. His look has changed actually quite a bit. I haven't seen him in a long time.
And by the way, Rob, I think that's even 4 years ago. I think it's even more than it is
Well,
today.
no, but the statement he just made was a couple of days ago. And that
it was a couple of days ago. And it's similar to the statement he made back in 2012 when he told business owners, you didn't build that. Remember when he said that? I don't know if you remember that whole comment. I think this is the speech, Rob, if you want to play this.
If you got a business, that you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
So this becomes a pattern of
communism.
You see a pattern of communism there?
No, I mean, that's basically the view. You know, we didn't do anything.
Right.
Government did it. Somebody did it, but anybody but us.
Do you think this works with the undecided voter? Do you think the undecided voter that's sitting, our audience, they're entrepreneurs, they're small business owners, they're family, they have kids, they want to win, they got dreams, they want to do something. Do you think a message like that from him lands on the business owner, on the undecided voter, on the person that says, you know what, I think he's right, I'm going to go vote for him? Do you think it works?
I think you don't have that many undecided voters. I think by now you have very strong Trump voters. I don't think you have strong Democrat voters, but I don't think you have strong Kamala voters. What's to vote for? I mean, take a look. She can't do an interview. Has she been in here to do an interview?
No, not yet.
I don't think you'll see her. You know,
She's claiming she's going to go on Rogan.
Well, that'll be interesting. So am I.
I heard.
But I think I am. I don't know. I think so. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens today with Brett Baer. You know, Brett's two people. He can be very nice or he can be himself.
He was tough on you. If he's tough on her the way he was tough on you, he was very tough on you.
He was always nasty to me. And
right.
I don't think he'll be tough on her. I don't think he'll be. Fox is a very disappointing thing. During the day, Fox is just terrible, terrible. And but
I want to show something with this. When you look at this whole Barack Obama thing, I think the one thing they don't show, you were talking yesterday, I think it was the Bloomberg event, which, by the way, I loved. I love the way you handled the whole terrorist conversation. That was a great event.
I got hoodwinked to go on that. You know, I was supposed to make a speech in front of the Chicago Economic Club, which is a big deal, you know, which is a very prestigious place, beautiful. Everything was beautiful. And all of a sudden, I understand I'm being interviewed by this gentleman. And he's got a reputation for being about, I'd love to see him do Kamala. He should do Kamala. That would be beautiful. But he's a tough cookie, and he's the chairman of Bloomberg. He's a big so all of a sudden I'm being interviewed. And I wasn't happy about it because I found out that he is, you know, his reputation precedes him. And but I decided to do it. You know, you have a choice. Walk out and don't do it and have a scandal, or go in and do it and hopefully win, or you go in and do it and you get killed, which is probably the worst. But it was a great interview, actually. And he was nasty, but he wasn't overly nasty to me. I mean, other people thought he was. I thought nastier was David Muir when he kept interrupting me during the debate and saying false things, like when I said crime is way up, and he said, no, crime is down. I said, you're wrong about that. Crime is up. And then 2 days later, it came out that crime is up.
Right.
I mean, to me, that was much nastier than this gentleman. But it was really a study of business. It was a detailed study of business.
You're talking about with the Bloomberg one?
With the Bloomberg,
right.
And people loved it.
I agree. The tariff one. And the one thing I wanted to show is the following. So you know how you talked about Jerome Powell, what an easy job. You come once a month and he said, we're going to increase the rates.
Greatest job there is.
I think this is the one thing they don't talk about. So Barack Obama got elected November 4th. Okay, quantitative easing started November 26th.
Right.
And it stayed for 8 years until you got elected.
Right.
So if you look at that low, pretty much 0% interest rate,
right,
and then you get elected, right, if you go to January 2016, Rob, for the audience to see that, and then from there, one by one, rates are going up, and then Biden comes in, goes back down to zero to try to save the economy, and then, you know, the rest is obviously history.
Right.
But do you think the average person knows, like, the impact of going to 0%? How much does that positively help the impact when Fed lowers the rates to 0.5 point?
Yeah, it has a huge impact. The power of the Fed is, I think, pretty strong. Some people disagree with it. They think it's overridden by the interest rate climate. But I think the power of the Fed is very strong. It's an interesting graph, actually.
Yeah.
What I love so much about Trump is that no topic is off limits. He will go on any show, anytime, and he'll talk about anything. When he went on to Bloomberg to talk about the economy, he had to fight back against these combative interviewers right off the bat. But the thing about Trump, the economy spoke for itself. Actions speak louder than words. So Kamala can say all these great things about how her economy is going to be, everyone's going to prosper. But when you look at this Biden-Harris administration, people are suffering because inflation is totally out of control and take-home wages are plummeting. Meanwhile, under Trump, take-home wages were rising faster than they ever had in the last 40 years, all while keeping inflation at record lows before COVID.
He didn't use them to help me.
Right.
And Powell, I gave him a hard time because he was raising them. And I was never a big fan of his. He was late and he was early. He was too early and too late, but I had the greatest economy in history. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Despite that, this is another thing I can say, despite the fact that they weren't very high, but they were, reasonably high. And despite the rates not being at zero, I had a pretty good, we had a great run.
Like it or not, the Democratic Party is not what it was for your parents and grandparents. They have completely evolved and radicalized, especially under Obama's term. So I don't really care what Obama says because he has made our country a lot less safe and a lot less prosperous. A lot of people consider this Biden administration Barack Obama's third term. They think he's working in the shadows. So what I think you're going to see in this next election is a lot of people who consider themselves a Democrat in 2020 or an independent are rapidly going to shift to the Republican Party, to Donald Trump, because he's actually the only person in this race who will make your life better. And if you disagree, all I have to say is your life better now than it was 4 years ago? In a lot of cases, people are going to say, absolutely not. I have a lot less money in my pocket. Inflation's out of control. The streets are not nearly as safe as they were. And World War III is brewing. Do we really want to test our luck with another 4 years of this? Because Kamala Harris said herself, she can't think of anything that she would change from these past 4 years. I think a lot of people have woken up to the man that Barack Obama is, and I don't think that he has the same charm that he had 12 years ago. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. Do you think Obama still has that magic charisma that he once had? And also, do you believe the theorists that Obama's kind of running things from the shadows? Let me know. I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.